Heyo, what is happening, guys? Welcome to the guitar collection video. Lots and lots of you guys have asked me to make another one of these. A lot of you know how I feel about these videos. I always feel kind of strange about it because I never want it to be perceived as showing off. I love guitars. You know, a lot of you obviously like guitars if you're watching this video, and I like being nerdy about them. So if you're wanting to learn about some of the guitars that I have, there's going to be tons of links down below. This video is going to be sponsored by Sweetwater. Big ol' shout out and thank you to them. They're always such a good supporter of the channel. So most of the guitars, I'm going to link that stuff all down below, both the Fender and Squier counterparts, or Gibson, Ephone counterparts, and just tons and tons of gear is going to be linked down below. So just by clicking on those links, it's a great free way to support the channel. And we're going to dive on into this. So we're going to cover a bunch of guitars. This isn't all the guitars, but these are the ones that I see a lot of people ask questions about, and ones that I just find myself playing the most. So let's go ahead and get on into it. You ready to get nerdy? Because that's what we are about to do. Alright, so guitar number one is, of course, my Strat, aka Blondie is what we call it because it's a blonde Strat. And this one is a 63. So I get asked a lot, is it a custom shop? What are the pickups in it? All that kind of stuff. It's a real 63 that has been refinished. That's why it kind of looks so new. But we know an incredible amount of information about this one. The backstory of this guitar is phenomenal. You know, if those who know the story of it just know that how awesome it is to know the entire history of this guitar. So this is the first one. This is my favorite guitar that I own. This was a dream guitar that I thought I would never get to own, so I feel very fortunate. And we got it 3 or 4 years ago at this point, and I just got it refretted finally over at Glazier's, and it's like a million times better. So guitar number one, 63 Strat, Blondie. Alright, so I'm already getting hot flipping these guitars, so this hoodie's going to have to go. This is my PRS DGT. So if you don't know what that is a David Grissom signature model PRS. I'm not a huge, Sig model person, and to be honest, I had not listened much to David before getting this guitar. I just liked it. I played a friend of mine's gold top DGT and loved it and wanted to get one, and I got this one, and through getting the guitar, discovered David Grissom, and he's such a phenomenal player. So his guitar is amazing. It normally comes with 11s on it, and I knocked it down to 10s. 11s was a little bit too much, and then I knocked it down to 10s, and I actually liked the way that it sounded better with 10s for me. And yeah, just a phenomenal guitar. The best PRS, in my opinion, if you're trying to bridge that gap between the different kind of like tiers and levels of PRS, the DGT just kind of has all the best stuff all mixed in it, and the pickups are phenomenal. Let's talk about this one. Viewer favorite. I haven't used much recently because I keep it tuned down a full step, but this is the Acacia Cronus. So this is a fantastic guitar. I'm actually getting ready to kind of revive it. There's some things I want to change on it. I want to change the bridge system on it, and I'm going to flip these pickups out of it. It's got the Fishman Classics in there right now, which sound really good. But I really want to go back to, I forget what I had in there. I think I want to put like Saturday Night Specials. Maybe you guys have pickup recommendations. Kind of the lower output pickups. I always thought this looks like a guitar that would have come out in the 70s. So this is by a brand called Acacia. And they made this one for me years and years ago. So it is just a super, super cool guitar. I think this was one of the first ones they ever made. I'm just friends with those guys. And they asked if they could make me one, and this thing is all rock and roll all the time. How could we not talk about this beast? This one right here. This is the OG. I think this is the guitar I've owned the longest. out of all these. I can't remember when I got this one, but a while ago. It was my first real Les Paul, and this is the 79 Les Paul KM, which stands for Kalamazoo model, and it's just such a cool Les Paul from the 70s. It's got a 2-piece maple top, which a lot of them back in the 70s, man, you'd have 3-4-piece tops, and a 1-piece mahogany body. Not the pancake bodies that were kind of the thing, but it does have a 3-piece maple neck. So super snappy, awesome guitar. It's got your T-top pickups in here. Again, a lot of you guys know the story of this one too, because I've had it for a long time. And it's just such a cool guitar. Man, it's just got vibe for days. Heavy as all get out. And man, it's got that it factor for sure. What are you doing? Just crashing the party? Ooh, just crashing the party. Might as well just keep it in the Les Paul family, keep that going, because what do we have here? A gold top. Now this is another one, and you see a theme with a lot of these guitars is I get guitars for very specific reasons. I don't want to just have a bunch of guitars to have a bunch of guitars. They either mean something, maybe they were gifted to me by a friend, or it has a very unique vibe and sound to it. So this particular one is an 89 gold top standard. Now, why that was significant is I wanted to get a birth year guitar. Luckily for me is I wasn't born in 59, I was born in 89. And 89 guitars are still relatively affordable, especially when I got this one 3 or 4 years ago. So they're kind of on their way up. So any of you guys like me, born in the 80s, 90s, all that kind of stuff, get those birth year guitars now while you can, because they have started to climb. And this one originally came with something called P100. So they were silent P90s. A lot of people did not like those. I still have those. When I got it, someone had already switched it out for some antiquities, and I thought that bridge was just horrible sounding. And the guys at Friedman sent me an extra P90 that I could throw it in here real quick, and it just sounds great. So this is a Friedman P90 in the bridge, antiquity in the neck. And other than that, I don't know all the details. I bought it from a place out in California called Tall Toad Music, and just a cool kind of mom and pop shop, and just a cool guitar, man. 89 Les Paul, gold top, and it's gotten some nice cracking and starting to green, so it's gonna be real cool in about 20 years. Now you know we're gonna talk about this guy. I always forget how light this guitar is. It is crazy light. Probably going from Les Pauls doesn't help that fact. But so this is obviously the EVH Frankie guitar that you can get from Fender, and Eddie's the whole reason I play guitar. So when I look at this thing, it is just so cool to look at as an absolute Eddie freak and fan. I love having it. You know, they're really good. They're different than the normal EVH guitar. So if you haven't tried a Frankie, it's a whole different vibe and feel to it than the normal EVHs. They're all great guitars, but the Frankie is definitely something special. So if you're really wanting to get one that has the vibe, like if you know about the pickup selector that Eddie, you know, put inside of the middle pickup cavity, the neck pickup that doesn't work, and all that kind of stuff, this is the guitar for you, 100%. Like if you know all the details about Eddie's guitars, I've got the quarter. If I wanted to mount it on here, my buddy Derek gave me it's got it all, man. It's just it's the definition of a guitar with vibe. So I definitely want to talk about this one because I featured it in other videos, all that kind of stuff, but it hasn't been in a video since I had something very, very special added to it, which you guys heard, was I added a G-bender to this thing. Being a huge Brent Mason, Brad Paisley fan, I love Telecasters. You know, this is one of the newer Fender American Vintage 2s, which I still stand by what I said. These are the best things that Fender has made in a long time. For the more, I mean, they're still expensive, but in that, we'll say quote unquote, affordable nitro, all that kind of stuff realm, these are the ones, you know, especially the Telecasters. I've got a Strat, I'm not going to show it here. I'm actually selling the Strat, but the Tele is staying for good. And I have the bender put in it, and you guys are going to see a video here real soon all about me going to glaziers, them installing. They have to drill through the entire guitar to put this bender in here and all this jazz. And it was cool. It was so fun to watch, but it's just a normal standard Telecaster. It's got that G bender in there. I can get all those, you know, Brad Paisley licks going, and I can try to. Anyways, I shouldn't say I should. I can. Yeah, it's all just trying. But yeah, just an American Vintage 2 Telecaster with a G bender in it, and it just gets the job done for me. Oh, sugar, ba 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 ba. Oh, candy, candy. So another favorite of a lot of you guys, which I haven't used here recently because it's tuned down a half step. So there's going to be an 80s course coming here real soon. So you're going to see a lot of these Super Strats getting pulled out here probably next month. And this is the Friedman Cali. This is still, I mean, it's the best Super Strat I've ever played, ever owned, ever played. It's not my favorite Super Strat that I own, oddly enough. You'll see it soon. But as far as like neck size, all that kind of stuff, it's top dog. And what else is top dog is this hoodie has to go. Oh my God, I'm getting so hot. Big on, demon. So Friedman Cali, another one super cool. Again, I have a Friedman Vintage T that is not out right now, so you won't be seeing it today. But that one is super cool too. The input jack is messed up on it. Otherwise, I probably would have had it and played it. But yeah, these are all, you know, when Grover was over at Friedman, and I think Grover actually moved to Nashville now. But these are, man, Bird's Eye Maple. This is the first one I ever got from them, and I was like, you guys are making some of the best guitars out there. So those early Friedmans, man, I haven't played any of the newer ones, but these things are legit. Heyo, keep the Super Strat train a-rolling. This is one of my favorites and one of my least favorite guitars that I own, and some of you guys already know the reasoning behind it. This is a guitar I bought a previous, not a previous friend, he's still a friend of mine. It was previously owned by a friend of mine, Bill Thompson in Ohio. But he had this. This is basically like, I call it a mutt because it is pieced together. I don't know if the body, I can never remember if it's a 3DR or a Predator, but it's a Model 1 neck. You know, it's basically old Charvel 70s, or not 70s, late 80s, early 90s parts put together. You've got the, you know, old school logo, not the toothpaste logo. And I got the trim bar somewhere for it, but it's just a cool guitar. The thing that's hard for me is the neck is really small. If I play it for too long, the way that I put my thumb over the neck sometimes, it hurts my hand. So I don't play this one as much as I should, but it's also one that I'll never get rid of. And I'm going to use it in the 80s course. So it's cool. It's got a, what does it have? A custom in the bridge, and then this is the original neck pickup in it. So sounds great, sounds cool. It's an absolute fire breather of a guitar, but just that neck, man, that tiny, tiny neck. My big old paws don't work so well on that one. But now I'm going to show you the favorite Super Strat that I own. Boom, 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 boom. Oh man, most of you probably knew this is what it was going to be. This is the Ibanez RG550. Now I think this one is a 93, 94, real close to the end of that original 550 line. I did just get something really special, sold some guitars, and picked up something that you guys will see soon. But this one we found out in the wild. My wife actually found it when we were at Guitar Center in Columbus, Ohio. And we were on our way out pretty much, and she saw it behind the desk, and she's like, "Oh, look at that Ibanez over there. You know, is that one of the Ibanez that you want?" And I looked at it, and I could just see the fretboard. If you look at it, man, that fretboard is toast. It has been played to death, and it just means that this is a good one, man. Someone's put a lot of time in this. And I was like, that's a 550, and that's an old 550. And when we got it, someone had just brought it in and sold it to them, so they needed to make sure that it wasn't stolen. You have to wait a week, so we had to drive back home, drive back down in a week once it cleared, and get it. And I was never so pumped up. But when you find these out in the wild, in person, oh, it's a whole different experience, man. I love this guitar. It is just fun, you know? It's got everything I hate in a guitar neck. Super thin, wide neck, wide this way. And I love it. You know, it's not what I normally want, but I play this guitar constantly. Like, I really, really do love this guitar. This one, the Hidden Gem. So I ended up buying this from a subscriber. You know, I didn't know they were a subscriber at the time. I just bought it off of Reverb. But they ended up being a subscriber. And we got talking and stuff, and the guitar was super cool. I can't remember if he said that he toured with it or he bought it from someone who toured with it, because it's a little beat up. You know, it's got some nicks and dings in it, and it's just a normal Explorer. It's a 2019, and it's again, nothing special about it other than it just rocks. I love this guitar. It's so easy to play. It needed quite a bit of work. I've ended up replacing both tone pots and both the one tone and the 2 volumes, and the pickup selector needed to replace, and then the action was a little wonky, and the pickups were crooked. So we kind of like took our time with it, got it all up to par, and then I recently just got the input jack fixed on it at Glazier's, and it is just good to go. It is just such a great sounding guitar. I'm assuming these are just the stock pickups, but I don't even know. I don't know any of the specs of it other than I'm just like, I don't know, man. You pick it up, it rocks. What more do you need to know? So this one is another one that I moved a lot of stuff around to make it happen, because the Murphy Lab stuff is incredible. You know, they really are making cool vibey stuff over there. So this is essentially, I mean, it's a new guitar, but it's modeled after a '63 Firebird 5. And they did a really good job on the guitar, the way it feels, the way it plays. The pickups are not my favorite. They might need to be replaced. But I also have another Firebird that you're getting ready to see. And I'm kind of like, well, it's almost like the evil twin to the Tobacco Burst Firebird that I have, because this one's so much darker sounding and the other one's real twangy. I'm like, you know, do you just roll with it, or do you seek out some different pickups? So other than that, like I said, it's just a normal Murphy Lab, you know, lots of checking, all that kind of stuff on it. I recently did a video on it, and it's just a cool guitar, man. So now let's check out the other bird. Here it is, the Lynyrd Skynyrd Machine. Now, this isn't exactly like what Alan Collins played, but it just gives me that vibe whenever I pick it up. So this is a '63 Firebird III, first year of the Firebird, and it is so fun to play. Whenever I first discovered Explorers and Firebirds, which wasn't that long ago, they clicked with me on such a level. Like, they were just, I was like, those guitars feel so comfortable when I play them. Some people talk about how your hand is kind of like moved in a different position, and man, they are just, it just feels like home to me. Like, right away, there was no like, oh shoot, I'm gonna, you know, spend a week with this thing, getting used to it. I picked them up and I plugged them in, and I'm like, it feels like I've had this guitar forever. Not because it felt broken or anything like that. It just comfortable. It just fit my body, and I don't know, man. It is just, I love Firebirds, I love Explorers, I love Jazzmasters, I love all that, all the weird stuff. And this one is no exception. It plays and sounds great. You know, I got this one from Uncle Larry, and it is just, it's just a mean machine of a guitar, man. It is cool. Sorry, see? You pick it up and you start playing. I'm not even plugged in, and this thing just rings. So a couple more guitars I'll show you, and then I'll get out of here. I know this video is getting like crazy long. All right, probably the final electric I'll talk about is this Les Paul Jr. that I got a while ago, and I originally borrowed this from Sweetwater, and it was just such a cool guitar. As soon as I got it, I'm like, man, this thing, it's got something going on. It's got a little bit of mojo to it, and I've had 2 other people come over here and play this one, and they're like, what about that Junior over there? I'm like, oh man, it's just a normal standard Junior, and hand it to them, and everybody strums it. And they play it, and they're like, "Oh, that's a good one." And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, you play some, and they don't have any life to them, and then you just get a couple real special ones in there sometimes." And this one, it's just crazy how loud it is, and it just resonates. I can feel those chords like shooting through my leg, right into my ribs. All the vibrations, it's crazy. Just how just how much it emotes. So this is the final one. Just a normal standard Les Paul Jr. You notice I don't mod a lot of stuff, man. I typically fall in love with guitars for what they are, and I guess maybe I don't have the ability to see the big picture in some guitars. Like some people can probably play a guitar and be like, the guitar is good, the pickups are trash, or it just needs this, it needs that. Like I usually like a guitar and I want it to be exactly like that forever. Don't ever change anything on it because I want it to be like that forever. And that's what this is. I don't need anything special done to it. It's just a hunk of mahogany. It's the Telecaster of Les Pauls, or Gibson, I should say. So yeah, one more. I'll show you my acoustic, and then I'll probably bounce on out of here, guys. Hold up, wait a minute. We got one more electric I want to show you. I can show you a bunch of Danos in here, but we got to have at least one because I love Dano Electros. Absolutely love them. Obviously, from the Page perspective, that's a big founding reason why I like Dano Electros so much. But the 12-string in particular, this thing is so inspiring. Fender makes a cool 12-string. There's a lot of cool 12 strings out there, but the Dano one has this crazy middle position sound. I wish I would have recorded some with it, but it is just golden, man. It sounds so good, especially recording wise, man. Tune it up, tune it down. You're rolling with 12 strings, so it's gonna sound good. But these just have this really cool extra roundness to it. But Dano 12 string. I don't know the actual model name, but I'll try to link as much of the stuff as I can. And yeah, man, check one of these out if you have. If you really want something that's different and inspiring, right here, this thing. All right, let me get the acoustic now. I've been so thirsty this whole time, and there's been water sitting beside me. I forgot about it. So, final guitar, a good old Martin acoustic. I kind of made the decision a few years ago. I'm like, I just want to get one good acoustic. I'm not an acoustic guy at all, but I really wanted to have just one acoustic. I grew up in a real southern bluegrass style church where everyone, outside of my dad who played his Alvarez Yari, but everyone played these old Martins from the 50s. And I just remember seeing, I'm like, when I think of an acoustic guitar, I think of Martin and I think of my dad's Yari. So I didn't think I'd be able to track down a Yari like my dad's, but I knew I loved Martins. And I found an HG28. Played a bunch of different ones. I'm like, man, that HG28 is just, that's the stuff, man. It's very big. It's not the guitar for every situation because again, like I said, it's very big. Probably not what you want for recording, Just want that little smaller body. But it has the thing, man. So there you have it. Martin, HG28, just all kinds of cool. Alright, back to where we started. Just thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. I like watching these types of nerdy guitar videos, and I was like, you know what? Let's just make it. Again, thank you to Sweetwater for sponsoring it. I really do appreciate that. And yeah, if you have any questions about the guitars, let me know. I'm going to link pretty much everything I can down below. It's either going to be the Fender, Gibson, whatever version, or the Squier Epiphone counter version. I'm linking a whole bunch of stuff down there for you to check out. But I think we're just going to roll on out of here, guys. We're going to end it bluesy, unplugged. Hold on. The amp is actually still on. So we're gonna end it bluesy. Strat, half plugged in style. Ooh, there it is. Later, guys.